#1 FSW and second-seeded Miami Dade. Welcome in, everyone. Boy, do we have a treat for you this afternoon. It's the 6-time defending champs in the Sharks against the #1 team in the nation in FSW. A heavyweight matchup that, who knows, we could see at an even bigger tournament in a couple of weeks, as both these teams likely headed for West Plains, Missouri. Sean Vitas, happy to have you along in what is the climax of the 2022 volleyball season here at the Division I junior college level. The Buccaneers won both regular season matchups. They are at the top of the nation's rankings. Kiko Benoit on the other side for Miami Dade has been here before. 6-time defending champs. He has won 14 state championships in 17 seasons. He's won 2 national titles. He's been to the national championship game 2 other times. He spent a decade as an assistant at Miami Dade. He is Miami Dade Volleyball, and he's got a fantastic team this year. The only thing is they've lost 7 matches. They are 19-7. That is an uncharacteristically down year for Miami Dade. But if you ask anybody around the country, they'll tell you this is just as talented a team as he has always had, and they are hungry after getting beaten twice by FSW in the regular season. The Bucks, meanwhile, under the direction of 4th-year head coach Thais Baziketo Allen, rose through the high school ranks and then on to Seward Community College in Kansas, where she won at a high level and got hired by FSW to start this program from scratch and built it from the ground up. She had a full year to recruit and has now played 4 seasons here in this Suncoast Conference, and she is the 3-time reigning Coach of the Year in the league. Barbara Kohler serves first for the Bucks. A tremendous, powerful serve. Cornelio, the conference player of the year, delivers the first point on a smash from the left side for Miami Dade. Buccaneers won in straight sets in Fort Myers. That match had to be rescheduled because of Hurricane Ian. It was played at Bishop Verot High School, a gym even smaller than this one here as we play in Eastern Florida. The Hurricane also moved this match out of the Fort Myers area as Izzy Collier takes a swing from the middle. Beautiful dig in the back row by Perez. Perez gonna set now, trying to lead Vergara on the right side. Rossi, full extension, gets to it, and then a bad set. And Miami Dade's got the 2-0 lead. Buccaneers rolled in 3 sets at home, even though it wasn't their home gym, but their home city at least. And then just a few days later, had to go to Miami Dade and pulled out a comeback 5-set win. They were down 2-1, came back to beat Miami Dade as Dade goes up 3-0.
Cornelio with the kill.
They always say it's tough to beat a team 3 times, especially in an evenly matched arrangement, as this one really is. In terms of ranking, in terms of record, the Bucks are certainly the favorite in this match, but Miami Dade's got that pedigree of all those championships in years past, and it's a block. Lukumi and Cornelio have the Sharks out to a 4-0 lead. This is Alex Koleva, the JUCO transfer, a sophomore, 4th in the nation in assists per set last year. And now in her first year with Miami Dade at the center position, Cecilia lays out to keep it alive. Alarcon with a big swing, and Alondra Alarcon, the freshman, gets FSW on the board. Alarcon named 2nd team all-conference at the pre-tournament banquet on Thursday. Gets her team on the board. Bucks a little on their heels to start this one. Even though they are the #1 team, this is uncharted waters for them, trying to get to their first ever state championship. That one's too long, and it's 5-1. Buccaneers have been in this game just one other time. That was 2 seasons ago, which was the spring of 2021, so a year and a half ago. With an entirely different roster, FSW lost to Miami Dade in the state final. Into the middle, and that is Julia Lorenz telling the line judge, call that in. I got the line, and it's 5-2. Sophomore middle for the Bucks is experienced. She and Kohler, 2 of the top returners from last year's team, along with Rossi, the tremendous libero. Here is Cecilia, another sophomore. 4 returning starters from last year's FSW team. Lorenz sends it back, and it's 5-3. Lorenz, the stabilizing force here early in the first. Buccaneers were upset in the semifinals of this event last year. They did not let that happen again this year. They absolutely dominated their semifinal against Eastern Florida. Alarcon is there, and FSW has successfully battled right back into this first set. It's 5-4. Cecilia from Brazil, home nation of her head coach, Thais Baziqueto Allen. Koleva sets the left side, Tebdaradze with a big swing, dug out by Kohler. Kohler from the back row will attack, and it is just barely out of bounds. Got some college coaches in the stands for this one as well, some recruiters with some interest in some high-level athletes here between number 1 and number 2. 6'4" Dade. Here is Kira Elise Perez. Purashai sets the right side for Lorenz. That was going to go out, and Cornelio went for it, and it's 6-5. Roberta Purashai, the true freshman setter for FSW, has proven to be one of the best setters in the country in her first season here with the Buccaneers. Came over this August from the country of Italy and is rock solid as this team's leader. Kohler had to push, and it's out of bounds. 7-5 Sharks. There's no doubt we expect this to go 4 or 5. It's going to be, kind of the long game in terms of the strategy. You don't want to show all your cards early. You want your team to be focused and dialed in, but these coaches have all kinds of tricks up their sleeves to try and take out their arch rival here today. Purashai, back row Cecilia, off the block and through for FSW.
Cecilia with the kill.
And this has the feel of a heavyweight prize fight. Could go the distance. One thing to watch on the FSW side, Izzy Collier, their starting middle, along with Lorenz, is nursing an ankle injury. She left last night's match in the third set, kind of hobbled off the court against Eastern Florida. Took it easy in warm-ups, and he's out there starting this match. He's going to kind of feel it out. That one goes out of bounds, and we're tied at 7. These two teams know each other so well. They meet twice in the regular season every year. They almost, it's inevitable that they're going to meet in the postseason, either in this tournament or the national tournament. Jada Coleman serving for the Bucks. And it's going to be an ace for Coleman. The freshman defensive specialist delivers. And it's a 1-point lead, the first lead for the Buccaneers. Both benches will be loud throughout. Coleman, another good serve. Koleva sets Tebdaradze, and Tebdaradze ties us up at 8. Freshman from the nation of Georgia, 6'3" freshman, had 16 kills in the 5-setter against the Buccaneers. She was by far the most effective outside hitter against the Bucks 2 weeks ago in Miami. And now she'll serve in a tie first set. Purashai sets Kohler in rhythm. Back row dug by Tebdaradze. Right side, Vergara is blocked into the net. Collier and Kohler there, and the Bucks go back up by 1.
Now serving Roberta
Purashai. Purashai gets her first serve. A good one. Koleva right to Cornelio, off the block and dug by Alarcon. Here comes Kohler, down the line and out of bounds. No touch and a point for Miami Dade. (9-9). Just as we suspected this one might be. Here's Mariela Jimenez. She was the only player to appear in that championship match 2 seasons ago as Cecilia delivers for the Bucks. Because of the COVID epidemic, a 3rd year of eligibility for junior college athletes, this will be the final calendar year where that is in effect. And Jimenez is the only player on these two rosters that played in that match 2 seasons ago. The championship match in the state tournament between FSW and Miami-Dade. Koleva here needs a moment to get her bearings after she got some contact up high. Perez trying to help her out. And Koleva, a transfer, has been a huge part of the success this year for Miami-Dade. And now Kohler with the big jump serve. This is critical for the Bucks that she gets it in. Took a little off, but got it in there. Back row, Teptaradze. Dug by Rossi off the basketball hoop in the ceiling. Here comes Alarcon. Through the block, Cornelio couldn't quite reach it. It's a point for the Bucks. You will see some balls ricochet around in the rafters. You can play it off the rafters if it stays on your side. If it goes over the net, it's counted as out of bounds. Usually 1 or 2 balls per set will get up there. Here's Kohler up by 2. Pushed over, Porishai pops. Rossi gonna set Cecilia in rhythm off the block. Teptaradze, great play to get to that one. Vergara had it sent back by Collier. Collier puts it down again. Izzy sticking with it, and the Bucks lead by 3. Freshman out of Jacksonville, Florida. Stands at 6'4", tallest player on the Buccaneers. Here comes Kohler again. Got it off and it's in, right over the head of Vergara, and it's 13-9 Bucks. Yesterday against Eastern Florida, in 2 of the 3 sets, Kohler ripped off at least 5 points in a row on her serve in both sets. Had a few aces in there, and it totally set the tone and really buried the Titans season. Miami-Dade having some issues with it as well, so they call timeout, and we will be right back in our championship match. We welcome you back to Eastern Florida State College, the host of this 2022 Florida State Tournament. They'll also host the Region B final tomorrow. Kohler with another good serve. A lot of power behind it. Good set, though, for Cornelio. Recovered by Porishai. Rossi going to set for Cecilia. Perez equal to it. Koleva bumps. Vergara had to push. Porishai left side. Alarcon cross court. Dunked by Perez. Cornelio off the block and down. Izzy Collier sends it back. Cecilia in on it as well, as the Bucks block has started to wreak havoc here in this first set. That's the one adjustment that teams have to make against both of these squads. These teams are big, they're tall, they're strong, they're athletic. When the opponent comes to play these schools, they have to totally alter the way they attack the volleyball. You can't go straight forward because they will send it back in a hurry. Got to go around them, over them, through them. But these teams know each other well. Not as many adjustments that they have to make. Equally as powerful. Cecilia over the top and down. Smart play by Maria to go soft. And the Bucks have opened up a 6-point lead here in the first. Here comes Kohler again. And a miscommunication and an ace for Barbara Kohler.
Barbara Kohler.
Buccaneers have a totally different look than they did in the first 5 to 7 points of this set. They were a little on their heels early, not anymore. Kohler misses there, but she did her job. When the ball gets to her on the service line, Buccaneers want to rip off 5 in a row if they can. They did so there. 16-10 the margin now for FSW.
Now serving Alexander Koleva.
Here's Koleva. Kohler the pass, Purashai to the middle, Collier off the block. Koleva feeds Fernandez, and it's off the block and down. Anja Levis Fernandez with the kill. Sophomore right side from Spain. Spent her freshman season at the State College of Florida. They dropped down to the Division II level, and she transferred across the state to Miami-Dade. Tallest player in the conference at 6'7". Right side, Cecilia, off the tape, handled easily by Tevdaradze. They feed Cornelio, and Cornelio is blocked. Collier's size is too much. 6-point lead for the Buccaneers.
Now serving Ariana Rossi.
Rossi from Italy, another returning sophomore for this team. Koleva high for Fernandez. Purashai, back row, Kohler into the net, missed it. Purashai will spread the love. She does a great job of reading the other side of the net. Wanted to give Kohler a chance to go down the middle. Didn't work out, 5-point game. Cornelio tees one up for the Sharks. And it's out of bounds, just missed. 18-12 Buccaneers.
Now serving Maria Cecilia.
Here comes Cecilia. Fernandez blasting one off the block. A point for Miami-Dade. Fernandez has not had as much playing time lately, but obviously with her height and her power, a world of potential and promise. And she's come off the bench here for Miami-Dade and made a difference. Oh, Kohler with a great decision at the very end on a low line drive serve. It just barely goes out, and it's 19-13 FSW.
Now serving Alondra
Alarcon has been really their best player against Miami-Dade in the 2 matches this season. Tevdaradze off the block. Alarcon pops it up. Purashai flips over on 2. Cornelio all over it. Left side Fernandez off the block and handled. Purashai, right side Cecilia. Easy dig for Cornelio. Into the middle, Jimenez couldn't quite reach it. And the Buccaneers go up 7. Alarcon had 18 kills and 12 digs in the 5-set win over Miami-Dade. And a timeout. Kiko Benoit wants to talk it over. Bucks looking to close out the first when we come back. Welcoming you back to the Titan Fieldhouse here in Melbourne, Florida. Just over a 3-hour drive for both these schools to get here. So not the largest crowd for a championship match, but a couple dozen fans from both schools have made the drive. We also mentioned we noticed a few college coaches, Division I coaches here in the stands. Plenty of talent to scout in this matchup. Some of the other JUCO coaches here as well. Herman Del Valle up there at the top of the bleachers. Polk State head coach Carmelo Eliutiza just won the third place match, is watching. This is his gym. That one goes off the block and down. Miami Dade wins the point out of the timeout to cut it to 6. Ezgi Kachuk will come in to play the back row in place of Fernandez, and she will serve as well. Oh, Rossi laid out. Purishai pushed. Kachuk pops it up high. Tevdaradze had it sent back. Right back to Tevdaradze. And she's roofed. Julia Lorenz says, let's go. 7-point lead for Florida Southwestern. Oh, it is an absolute, demoralizing moment when one of your top hitters gets blocked. You don't see it much, especially with Miami Dade. Tevdaradze, Cornelio, they get so high. But they've both been roofed in this first set. And FSW not necessarily known for their blocking. They've always had good middles, but that was a big-time block. Tevdaradze gets revenge, slices it right off of Kohler, and wins the point for Miami Dade. A lot of sophomores in the mix for Kiko Benoit. Tevdaradze, one of the key freshmen. Purishai, back row. Alarcon off the block and through. Alondra extends the lead to 22-15 for FSW. Now, any set that you can win without having to go to extra points is a luxury in this match. Buccaneers trying to finish this one off. Big lead, up by 7. Purishai gonna serve. Koleva going right. A slide dug by Purishai. Cecilia. Cornelia bangs it through for the Sharks. And a one-on-one matchup there against Cecilia, and able to sneak it off her arm and down. Here's Jimenez, 3-year player for the Sharks. Purishai, middle, Collier, yes. Just barely able to scrape it over the tape. And the Bucks are 2 points away. We'll have plenty of stats for you after each set. We'll have a post-game interview as always, and there will be a lot of hardware handed out after this match. On the slide, it's blocked, but out of bounds. A point for Miami Dade. That was Sila Ozurek, sophomore middle from Turkey, getting the kill as Fernandez comes back in for Kachuk. And it'll be Koleva to serve. Purishai, left side, Alarcon cross court. Beautiful dig by Perez. Back row, Tevdaradze soars through, and it's in. A little indecision there from the line judge, but he does call it in. And it is a point for Miami Dade. Kohler coming over to ask about it. The officials come together. First time we've seen this all tournament. Officiating has been great all weekend. And they do ultimately agree that that was in. Really close call, really tough with that much heat on the volleyball to determine exactly where it hit the floor. Sharks get the call, 23-18 now. Purishai popped it up. Collier able to get it over. Goes to the right side. Rossi able to get to it. Here comes Alarcon. Down the line and in. Great angle from Alondra Alarcon to set up set point for FSW.
Now serving Ariane Rossi.
Rossi looking to close it out. Sophomore libero from Italy. Oh, good set by Koleva. Fernandez bangs it off the block. No, missed the block. And it's a point for FSW and a very impressive first set win for Thais Paziqueto Allen's team. They win it 25-18, and they're up 1-0. We will take a break. We'll be back with some stats and the start of the second after this. John Vitas welcoming you back to set number 2 in our state championship match between FSW and Miami Dade. The winner of this clinches an automatic berth to West Plains, Missouri to play in the national tournament in 2 weeks. The loser will have a chance to do that as well. They will play in the Region B championship match tomorrow afternoon. So they'll stay here in Melbourne an extra day if they lose this one. They'll play Spartanburg Methodist, who has a 20-win record, but in a much weaker region, playing a lot of Division II teams. So whoever loses this match will be the heavy, heavy favorite in that match tomorrow. So there's a good chance both these teams move on to West Plains. But, of course, today the big thing is to be able to hoist the state championship trophy. There'll also be 12 players honored with all tournament awards after this as well from all 6 teams in this event.
To start the second set.
More than likely, at least half of the selections will come from these 2 teams. Alex Koleva will serve first, the setter for Miami Dade. Purashida Cecilia. Oh, both teams want the point. And they're going to have to come together here. There's no call to overturn because there hasn't been a call yet. The leading officials come together to discuss it. Both teams celebrated. Both teams looked at the official, and there was no call. And they give it to Miami Dade. Thais coming over right away, asking for an explanation, as is Kohler. Thais seems fairly satisfied with the explanation. Anyway, looking at some of the first set stats, one of the numbers that really jumps out, Dade only hit .056. They've been right at the top of the nation in hitting percentage all year. But the Bucks forced 8 attack errors, 5 came on blocks. Here is Cecilia, straight down.
Bucks.
1-1 here in the second. Into the middle, and a block. Lorenz is having a day early. 3 blocks in the first set and a 4th block right there. It was Collier who led the block party last night. And so far it's the other middle, Julia Lorenz, the sophomore from Brazil, in this one. Cornelio. Purashai gonna set the left side for Alarcon. Cross court, but out of bounds. And a point for Miami Dade. 2-2 here in the second. See the Sharks bringing the energy in their corner. Look at that talented bench. A lot of those players you see there are gonna get in. Coach Kiko has used a lot of players this season. Here comes Cecilia into the corner and inbounds, just barely grazing the line. Purashai kind of being like, ooh, I don't know, but we'll take it. These players hit the ball so hard. It's not easy for the line judges, but Bucks got that one. They have the lead. Alarcon with a serve. Koleva, right side, Fernandez goes soft. Oh, look at Rossi. Full extension, and then a whistle, and a point for Dade. Rossi closed a large distance in a short amount of time, but ultimately, it's Dade's point. And now it'll be Perez. In the middle, and a kill for Lorenz. Perfect set from Purashai. Rossi now with a 4-3 lead.
Mariana Rossi to serve.
Oh, good directional serve. Tevdaradze has to bump it over. Purashai, back row, Alarcon, and a beautiful dig by Perez. Tevdaradze, cross court, and gets it through. Anna Tevdaradze ties it up at 4. Kachuk checks back in. Gonna let it fly for the Sharks.
Now serving Cuckoo.
Right side, Cecilia off the block, and a nice dig by Cornelio. Here's Tevdaradze off the block and down. Anna Tevdaradze heating up for Miami Dade. Again, 16 kills in the 5-setter against the Bucks. Nobody on her team with more than 12. Kachuk with the serve. Oh, good reactions by Collier. That had ace written all over it for Kachuk. And at the last second, Collier threw a left fist at the volleyball and was able to direct it over the net. That could be a huge point to keep this thing tied for the Bucks. Here comes Purashai. Tight to the net. Koleva, back row, Cornelio. Purashai into the middle. Collier. Oh, look at Perez go get it. And Cecilia has it blocked. Jimenez knocks it down. Right side, Kohler soaring through and scoring. Barbara Kohler can get as high as anybody in this conference, able to bank it off the top of a very tall block. 6-6 in the second. This has a Division I level to it. Kohler with that tumbling serve. Koleva gets it to the right side for Jimenez. Purishai sets up Alarcon. Right back to her. And into the corner over the head of Kachuk. Alarcon has been playing her angles well. She had 4 kills in the first, the only player with 4 kills. Cecilia had 3, and then on Miami Dade's side, Cornelio, Fernandez, and Tevdaradze all had 3. Those are their usual top hitters. Perez, Koleva, Cornelio had to punch into the middle, and Collier finishes that point off to make it 8-6. Coach B loved that one. Sharks a little shell-shocked right now. And again, it's Kohler's serve. Can they make some moves? Oh, Cornelio pops it up into the rafters. She couldn't touch it, and it lands in. That'll probably go down as an ace for Kohler. She had 2 in the first set. She had 7 in the match last night against Eastern Florida. Kiko Benoit will call a timeout. Kohler has forced many timeouts with that serve over the last 2 days. We'll be right back. We welcome you back to the Titan Fieldhouse. Full time out there for Kiko Benoit. Had a lot to say to his team. His assistant Bomba in there as well. This is a major weapon right now for the Buccaneers. This serve from Barbara Kohler. And it's in again. Kohler with another ace. A miscommunication out of a timeout. And it's a 10-6 lead for the Bucs. That is something she developed in Fort Myers. Did not have that caliber of serve last season. It's all smiles right now for Kohler. I mean, it's every time. It's like a free 5 points when she has the ball in her hands. Another one. Koleva sets the back row. Tevdaradze out of bounds. Another point for the Bucs and another serve for Kohler. Tevdaradze got a lot on that ball, just missed it wide. It's a 5-point lead now for the Bucs, who are already up a set. Cornelio reaches back. There was a touch. It's a point for Miami Dade. All the officials saw that one. Buccaneers complaining, though. I think 3 of the 4 refs made that call as a deflection. Barbara really didn't like that call. But she's the captain that will come over and talk to the officials. So now the lead official transmitting the message from the line judge. All the line judges in this tournament have experience at that R1. So these aren't your typical line judges. These are polished, seasoned, experienced officials all the way around. Barbara on the pass. Alarcon on the swing. Off the block. Well played by Cornelio. Right back to her. Oh, Kohler gets the dig, but it's out of bounds. Cornelio with the kill.
Cornelio with the kill.
Little momentum for the Sharks. Jimenez. Alarcon. Cornelio lays out for it. Back row, Tebdaradze. Rossi gonna lead Cecilia. Cornelio at an angle, inbounds. Romina Cornelio delivering for the Sharks. You can see everybody on the Miami Dade side love that one. That is their leader. That was not an easy swing, and she put it perfectly down that line. And now a whistle, and the Bucks are ruled to be out of rotation. And so now all of a sudden Miami Dade has won 4 points in a row, and they can tie it right here. Coach B wondering where they went wrong. And Jimenez can tie it right here. Rossi, a great pass. Purashai to the right side. Cecilia cross court and a good dig by Jimenez. Cornelio into the back row and out of bounds. FSW maintains the lead. More conversations with the officials. It's funny how this works sometimes. The officials have done a great job all weekend, and then at the biggest moment in the biggest match, it becomes a little bit of a problem. I mean, these coaches know the sport inside and out, and if they don't understand a call, they're going to ask what happened. Here's Coleman back in, serving with a 2-point lead. Koleva to Tevdaradze. Off the block, handled by Kohler. Purashai pops it up. Had to really rush over to that one, and it's back to a 1-point game.
Now serving Alexander Kohler.
Into the middle, Lorenz, almost saved by the Sharks, but FSW goes back up by 2. Not sure if anybody's played better so far through a set and a half than Julia Lorenz in the middle for the Buccaneers. Here comes Cecilia. Good low serve, and then put down. There is Lorenz again. She's got the look for FSW. Lorenz, the only player committed to play in a 4-year school next year. She's going to play beach volleyball at Hawaii next season. Talk about paradise. From Fort Myers to the beaches of Hawaii. Alarcon popped up by Kohler. Cornelio bangs it off the block and scores for the Sharks. Back down to 2. Cornelio is there for her team, playing as well as she normally does today. The Conference Player of the Year will tee one up, down by 2. Left side, Alarcon off the block and through. The freshman will anchor the Bucks next year. Alarcon having a great first season in Fort Myers.
Alondra Alarcon to serve.
Koleva with a great effort, keeps the point alive. Buccaneers to Kohler, and a nice dig by Cornelio. Oh, and Koleva thought Perez was going to go for it, and it gives the Bucks a 4-point lead. And those are the little things that are so magnified in a match like this. Timeout, Miami-Dade. We'll be right back. It's FSW 16, Sharks 12. We welcome you back to the championship match of Region 8. Automatic berth to the national tournament on the line. Alarcon serving for the Buccaneers. Koleva leads Tevdaradze. Bucks scramble around for it. Perez gonna leave Tevdaradze, who had to go left-handed, and she drops it in. Creative play by Tevdaradze to make it a 3-point game. We mentioned Alarcon going to anchor the Bucks on the outside next year. Tevdaradze will do the same for Miami-Dade. Back row, Alarcon, and she gets it through.
Point Bucks.
And Alarcon just seems to have a feel for where to put the volleyball. She does have power as well, but against bigger blockers, she rarely gets blocked. That time able to angle it off the side of the block. 4-point lead for the Buccaneers. Here comes Rossi. Oh, Tevdaradze with some good hustle. Cornelio plays it over and just barely misses hitting the ceiling. Oh, and a smart play. Purashai plays it over and gets a kill. I don't know if anybody saw that coming, but she knew that the Sharks were somewhere in the corner chasing that previous ball down. 18-13 FSW. Koleva to Fernandez, who goes soft. Purashai sets the back row, and Alarcon missed it. Too high, and a point for Dade.
Morning Sharks.
Purashai just has a great sense for setting the ball where the opponent, isn't expecting. She'll mix in some of those back row sets, and a lot of the time it works. That time Alarcon just put a little too much on it. Some subs here for Miami-Dade. Going to try and mix it up a little bit. Sosa Moreno is in along with Vergara up front. Kohler over the top. The set for Tevdaradze, and she's blocked. Kohler says, I got it. Sosa Moreno is on that set, fresh into the match. 6-foot setter from Santo Domingo, home nation, Dominican Republic for Kiko Benoit. Ooh, Sosa Moreno let it go. It almost worked. Collier puts it down. Perez is there. Left side, Vergara. Out of bounds. Did it hit a blocker? It did not, and it's a point for Florida Southwestern. 16 players on the roster for Miami-Dade. Believe that's the largest roster in the state. Buccaneers only a player or two behind. Tavdaradze, right side, yes. Scraping it off of Purashai. Cuts it to 5.
Now serving Beatrice Carulli.
Cecilia rises high and slams it through for the Buccaneers. FSW loved that one. Cecilia not holding back. She's been somewhat quiet, but her teammates let her know that they saw that one. 6-point lead. Here comes Kohler. Cornelio is set back. Cecilia and Collier on the emphatic denial. Oh, Cornelio almost never gets blocked like that. Second time it's happened today. She's had her fair share of moments as well. But those last 2 points were attention grabbers for the Bucks. And again, it's all happening on Kohler's monstrous serve as she finally misses one. Kohler will generally give you some service errors because it is such a wildly powerful serve. So the Sharks can exhale a little bit. Jimenez on the serve. Right side, Cecilia, and it drops in. Everything coming up Buccaneers right now. Coleman returns. Beatrice Carulli is in the game for the first time as well. Freshman outside from Italy. Purashai with the dig. Coleman gonna set tight to the net. Alarcon plays it over. Sosa Moreno sets up for Gara. Right side. Did it touch a player? It did not. Out of bounds from Cecilia. And a point for Miami-Dade. Makes it a 6-point margin. Bucks just 2 points away as Collier comes back in. And then the libero Rossi will replace her. And it'll be Koleva back to the top of the rotation for Miami-Dade.
Now serving Alexandra.
Here comes Cecilia, and it is inbounds. Tricky shot from Cecilia to make it 24-17. And it's set point once again for the Bucks. Again, searching for their first ever Florida State Championship here today. They've made the final once before and lost to this team, Miami-Dade. Into the middle, pushed forward nicely. Here comes Alarcon off the top of the block, pushed forward. Handled by Carulli. Right side, Cornelio, and there was a touch. It looked like it was out of bounds, but they say there was a touch by the Buccaneer block, and it's a point for Dade. A lot of smiles, good vibes on the Bucks side despite losing that point. 24-18 with Cornelio ready to send it in. Overpass and put down. Well played by Ozurek up front to make it 24-19 and a timeout by Thais Baziqueto Allen. They'll look to close out their third set point after this. John Vitas welcoming you back to the Titan Fieldhouse for our state title game. Buccaneers trying to snap the Sharks' 6-year reign as state champions. 6 years in a row, and 14 out of 17 for Kiko Benoit, the head coach for the Sharks. On the slide, this is Lorenz. Tevnaradze to the back row. Set point for the Bucks. They go quickly, handled by Perez. Right side, Fernandez into the back row and out of bounds. Fernandez missed it, and the Buccaneers have a 2-0 lead. 25-19 in the second. FSW 1 set away from hoisting the state trophy for the first time. We will come back with some stats and the start of the third in about 3 minutes. You're watching the Florida State Championship. We are back for a third set in the championship match between FSW and Miami Dade. Winner punches their ticket to West Plains. Loser can do the same tomorrow. They will have to play Spartanburg Methodist. So it's not really an elimination match for either team, but obviously they want to win a championship. Buccaneers have never done it. Miami-Dade, well, they've done it 48 of the last 53 years. The campus split in 1997. They used to have 3 campuses that all had outstanding volleyball teams, and really their biggest enemy were themselves because you had to play the different campuses. And so going back to 1969, the first year they had this great tournament, Miami-Dade South won for the first 19 years in a row. Miami-Dade Wolfson kind of supplanted them in the 90s. That one's blocked. Here comes Cornelio, cross court, and there was a touch, and it's a point for Miami-Dade. Manatee snuck one in there in '88. And then it was another run of Miami-Dade championships. But in '97, they consolidated the campuses into just one team. And from '97 to '05, they won every year, 9 in a row, before Hillsborough broke up that stretch. That was Gary Larkin a few years into his tenure at Hillsborough. We interviewed Gary earlier today after the 5th place game, talking about how much this conference has grown. There's a point for FSW. Miami-Dade then won 5 more in a row before they had a 4-year stretch where they only won once. Central Florida got one in 2012 over Hillsborough. Hillsborough won in 2013 and 2015 over Central Florida and Polk State. That was the beginning of Herman Del Valle's tenure, and he's been to 4 finals. But then again, since 2016, it's been all Miami-Dade. So this today could potentially mark another interruption in what has been an otherwise completely dominant half-century for the Miami-Dade Sharks. Again, 48 out of 53. Bucks trying to become just the 4th team to win a state title in the last, or I guess if you include Miami-Dade, the 5th team to win a state title over a 53-year stretch. A point for FSW. The other interesting note is that under Kiko's tenure, out of the 4 years that they didn't win the state final, they only actually lost in the state final once. The other 3 times they lost in the semis. Alarcon is rejected. Cornelio combines up front with Ozurek. So this would be only the 2nd time since the schools consolidated in 1997, only the 2nd time that Miami-Dade has lost a Florida State Championship match. Lorenz with a good swing, but a better dig by Perez. That one pushed towards the corner. Kohler is there. Right side, Cecilia, yes. The only time they lost as the Miami-Dade Sharks was in 2006. That 1 year, that first time they ever lost under Kiko Benoit, that was to Hillsborough. So it's been 16 years since the Sharks have lost in a state title game. Oh, Perez, think she wanted that one? Lorenz on the slide, able to bank it off of Tevdaradze. 5-2, Bucks jump in front in the 3rd as well. If you're a Sharks fan, you're looking for some positive signs here in the 3rd. Some positive energy, as maybe a string of a few points in a row that makes you believe. And Tevdaradze able to score despite the fact that she fell. Hung in the air long enough to get it through Purishon. 5-3 is the score early in the 3rd set. Perez smashes one left-handed and gets an ace. Alarcon and Kohler with a little miscommunication there. Top 2 hitters for FSW. Kohler pops it up. Rossi gonna have to lead Alarcon. Oh, almost got that in there. Cornelio had to leave her feet. That was Corelli. Left side, Alarcon, and it's blocked. Is it in? No, it is out of bounds. Just wide of that white line at the bottom of the Titan sword in the middle of this court. So Bucks maintain the lead at 6-4. Oh, big time cut right side. Corelli delivers for Miami Dade. Some more subs coming in. And Kiko looking for some options. Yanalise Cabada Mendoza is in, as is Nanyelis Sosa Moreno. Sosa Moreno serving, she is the setter. Koleva comes out. And that one's out of bounds, really close. Kohler's decision proves correct, and it's 7-5 Florida Southwestern.
Jada Coleman to serve.
Jada Coleman back in. 5'1" from Sneads, Florida. Right side. Kohler able to poke it forward. Oh, Cecilia gets to that one. Here comes Kohler, and it's blocked out of bounds. A kill for the FSW top hitter. Just under 4 kills per set. Barbara Kohler, runner-up for Conference Player of the Year. First team all-conference, and a ton of Division I interest. Right side, Tevdaradze cross court. Did it hit a buck? It did not. 9-5 Florida Southwestern. Coleman up by 4. Well, the players bumped into each other on the other side, and there is Mariela Jimenez to provide a counterpunch for Miami-Dade. Jimenez was very vocal in the huddle between the second and the third set. Again, she's the 3-year player who beat Florida Southwestern in the state title 2 seasons ago. And she knows what the standard is at MDC. Here comes Cecilia. Cornelio. Pushed over. Back row, Cecilia, yes. Able to go off of Jimenez. A more calculated swing from Cecilia to put the Bucks up by 4. If you're Miami-Dade, you really can't fall behind by much more than this. Porishai, the setter, to serve. Cornelio is blocked. Collier and Cecilia combine once more. And a timeout from Miami-Dade. Buccaneers playing at a high level here this weekend, looking to close out a title here in the third. FSW out to an 11-6 lead here in the third set. Kind of a last gasp here for Miami-Dade. They're still hanging around. They've still got a chance, no doubt. But it's got to be now if they're going to come all the way back down 2-0. They've seen this before. Buccaneers have won 5 in a row between these two programs. The only loss in conference this year for the Bucks came against Daytona, a team that went 2-0 here this weekend. That one off the block and through for Jimenez. The Sharks went 11-3, 2 of the 3 losses against FSW, and then a third against Polk, a team that they beat yesterday in the semifinals in straight sets. 11-7 currently is the score. Purashai sets the middle. Kohler with a smart play. Look at that wry grin as she just pokes it over the right side, with everybody gearing up for her powerful cut. 12-7 the lead. Here comes Kohler's big serve. Oh, slicing it off the net. Here's Cornelio. Rossi with a strong play. Back row, Kohler pushing to the same spot. Cornelio, though, was ready for it. Now Cornelio has to swing. Rossi there again. Purashai feeds Alarcon, and it's blocked. Ozurek is there. (12-8) with Koleva back into serve.
Now serving Alexander Koleva.
Purashai to the middle. Collier rips it through the formation for Miami-Dade. Boy, Purashai had to get really low for that set. Still got 2 hands on it and put it on a tee for Izzy Collier, who has really been a factor in this tournament. Here's Rossi. High set. Purashai to the middle. Lorenz to the back row. Koleva sets Cornelio. Purashai right side. Cecilia dug well by Koleva. Cornelio uncovered. Romina Cornelio with a big time swing. She is fun to watch. Hopefully we'll get the chance to play at a higher level. Kiko Benoit puts a lot of players into the professional ranks all around the globe. Cornelio's got that type of potential. Right side, Cecilia pushing to the corner. Cornelio is there for it. Now to the left side, and Caroli is blocked. Lorenz and Cecilia, a couple of Brazilian sophomores teaming up. And it's a 5-point lead for FSW. They are not letting Dade get much closer than this. They've built the lead pretty early in all 3 sets. 25-18 in the first, 25-19 in the second. Service error there. Bucks had only 3 service errors through the first 2 sets. Dade only 2. Been a pretty clean serving match.
Perez to serve.
And a low serve. Perez misses. Kiara-Lise Perez, first team all-conference. The other coaches around the league absolutely love the way she plays. Leads the match in digs, but a misplay there. Koleva, Tevdaradze tight to the net, pushes to the corner, and makes a good play. Nobody home for FSW on the backside. And it's 15-11. Corelli going to come out. Sosa Moreno will serve. Cabada Mendoza back in as well. Kohler bangs it through for the Bucks. Only had 2 kills through the first 2 sets, doing more damage at the service line. But she started to heat up here in the third. And it's so tough to defend this team with so many options. Now 4 or 5 big-time hitters that can strike from anywhere on this court. Dade sets the middle. Cecilia there for the dig. Oh, left side, bad set. Still stays in though. Good job by Mendoza. And then off the tape and down. Not exactly how Maria Cecilia drew it up, but it works. And it is a 17-11 FSW lead. 8 points from the state title. Coltman. Right side, Tevdaradze into the block. Tevdaradze again, off the block and through. Second time's a charm for Tevdaradze, and it's 17-12. Rossi back in.
Tevdaradze to serve.
Purashai to the middle. Collier in rhythm. Puts it away to make it a 6-point game.
Roberta Purashai to serve.
Purashai to the corner. Long run to get it for Sosa Moreno. Cornelio is met by Rossi. Alarcon. Cornelio into the block and down. The Buccaneers have had an answer for everybody in a blue jersey today. And a 7-point lead for FSW. We will step aside. Buccaneers building their lead and closing in. Roberta Purashai serving at 19-12. Buccaneers 6 points away. Cornelio rising high and finishing for Dade. Romina Cornelio not going to go down without a fight here in the Region 8 championship match. Experienced, polished, and accomplished. Here is Jimenez. Purashai, left side. Cecilia off the block and out of bounds, and FSW 5 points away now. These two teams are going to be a problem in the national tournament in 2 weeks. Miami Dade just hoping that however the seeding works out, they end up on the opposite half from FSW, who have had their number. Into the middle, Collier puts it away.
Collier with the kill.
It's a freight train coming down the tracks right now for the Buccaneers. Every single player is doing their thing. You never know match to match who's going to play well, who's not going to play well, but I can't find a single starter for the Bucs who is not playing well. Kohler off the tape. Tefteradze with a great pancake. Popped up by Purishai. Collier wants it. Oh, you could tell Collier is feeling it. Right side, Cecilia. Dug for a moment by Tefteradze, but off the official, and it's 22-13. Well, the positive vibes have been contagious. A couple of players start making plays, and everybody elevates their game. Women in purple, 3 points away. Right side. Kohler from the back row. Cornelio able to finish it for Dade. Gets them to 14.
Now serving Alexandria
Purishai, left side, Alarcon gets it over, and the Bucs are 2 points away.
Alondra Alicorn with a kill.
23-14.
Ariana Rossi to serve.
Rossi serving. It's been a huge part of the formula the last 2 years for FSW. Koleva sets the left side, and it's blocked out of bounds. A point for Dade.
Sharks.
(25-18, 25-19). Right now, 23-15. Here in the third, Cornelio serving. Poor shot in the middle. Lorenz trying to drop it in. Corelli pushing. Rossi sets Alarcon into the corner. And it's out of bounds. That was very close. 23-16 now the margin. Stay tuned. After the match, we will have full coverage of the award presentation. We will stay on the air as 12 players are honored on the all-tournament team, and all the hardware is handed out to the players and the teams. Good low serve from Cornelio into the middle. Lorenz had the pop to the middle. Diving play by Perez. Rossi reaches high for it. Purishai goes tumbling. Right side now, Rossi's there. Purishai sets the right side. Cecilia, not quite. Perez with another good play. Tefteradze now. Oh, nobody's there. Lorenz able to play it. Cecilia pushes soft, and it works. Maria Cecilia gets her team 1 point away. Thais Basiqueto-Allen, in her 4th season, has started this program from scratch. This FSW experience has grown to volleyball. They were very successful in basketball and baseball, and they won national titles in softball. But now it's volleyball's turn to try and get to the mountaintop, not only in the state but nationally. Right side, popped up in the air. Purishai slams it, but too strong. Just missed it. The setter trying to finish this one off. Still, though, plenty of match points for FSW. 1 away. They lost to Miami Dade 2 years ago. Since then, they've won 5 in a row against the Sharks, looking to make it 6. Right side, Lorenz cross court and inbounds. The cannonball has been dropped on Region 8. FSW for the first time, state champions. Straight sets over their arch rivals from across Alligator Alley, snapping the 6-peat for Miami Dade. Just the 5th program in 54 years to hoist a state championship trophy here in Florida. Miami-Dade with 48, and finally Florida Southwestern gets over the hump, and they've got their first state title in 4 years of program history. Their 6th consecutive win over Miami-Dade. They may need a 7th if they're going to win a national title. Very good chance that they will meet in 2 weeks in West Plains, Missouri. Miami-Dade has one more speed bump to overcome, and that'll be Spartanburg Methodist tomorrow. If they can take them out, the South Carolina champs, they will also be joining FSW on a flight to West Plains, Missouri in just under 2 weeks. But today's about the Bucks. Number 1 in the nation at the end of the regular season last year. They did not get it done in this event. They ultimately finished 5th in the nation. This year, they finished the regular season 1st, and then got it done in the postseason. The celebration is on for Thais Paziqueto-Allen's team. We will have interviews with the head coach of the Bucks, as well as the tournament MVP, which will likely be between Julia Lorenz and Barbara Kohler. Kohler so effective with her serving. Lorenz played a fantastic championship match here today. Getting you some new angles here as well at the end of this. They've got the table out to hand out the trophies. They're going to pose for a picture, and then we'll get a couple of interviews live for you here on our stream. Just some final numbers. Maria Cecilia leads the way with 15 kills, hit .344 in this match. Alondra Alarcon had 9 kills, 7 each for Lorenz and Collier. They were outstanding in the block department as well. Collier with 7 kills and 5 blocks. Same line for Lorenz, 7 kills, 5 blocks. Kohler had 5 kills, but she had 4 aces and 13 digs. 1 dig less than the libero Rossi. So Kohler getting it done in a different way in this championship match. Not necessarily with kills, but with digs and aces. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up with tournament MVP. Also could be Lorenz, and Izzy Collier's got a good case. I'm sure all 3 will end up on the all-tournament team. Maybe Cecilia as well. Purishai, obviously a huge part of this, the freshman setter. There are some fans here from FSW celebrating with them, and there are support from the area as well. Eastern Florida, Polk State have hung around after their 3rd place match to watch the final. Watching a moment that they hope to have next season. Both those teams will be locked and loaded to finish in the top half of this outstanding region yet again. Eastern Florida, the upstart team, the host team of this tournament, got 3rd place, and they will return 7 of their 11 players. I think it's actually 9 of their 13 players next year. But this Bucks program is peaking. They've been good right from the beginning. I mean, they had a high level winning percentage in their first season, but have really taken another major step forward. Last year getting to number 1 in the country, and then this year doing the same and then finishing it off here in Melbourne.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to first thank you all for your attendance at the 2022
We'll see when we can grab Coach Paziqueto-Allen as well as the tournament MVP, and Thais just got dumped on with the cooler. I don't think she was ready for that. There's Chris Pratcher getting her good. And then some of the sophomores in that celebration who have really improved. It's got to feel good for Coach B, who accomplished so much in the state of Kansas at Seward County Community College. They really asserted themselves as one of the top teams in the country, and certainly maybe the top team in Kansas, but she comes down to the palm trees of Southwest Florida, has grown as a coach and has built a powerhouse. Kiko Benoit used that word yesterday when they won their semifinal match. He said, we've been the powerhouse for so long, but now Florida Southwestern is the powerhouse. Kind of taking some of the pressure off his team and reminding everybody at home that, right now FSW is the team to beat. But his team's still at the very top and will be a major threat come the national tournament, assuming they can get through Spartanburg Methodist tomorrow. We're sure Spartanburg Methodist will be game and give it everything they have, but there's no doubt Dade is the favorite going into that match. They're going to give Thais a sweatshirt after she got doused with the ice water. So stay tuned. Rob Cheney is out there, Associate Director of the FCSAA. Tournament Chairman George Sanders, who also happens to be the Athletic Director at Florida Southwestern. Those two are going to hand out the all-tournament team trophies. They're announcing the winners now. We will let you listen into the ceremony.
From Hillsborough Community College, Svenja Rotenbusch. From Eastern Florida State College, Sophia Kamke.
Sophia Kamke in attendance will be the first one down the bleachers to accept her award. Hillsborough, and who won 5th place, as well as Daytona. They've gone home. They finished up their tournament 5-6 hours ago, so they will ship them their awards, but the two teams that played in the 3rd place game are still here, so they will be here to accept the awards. Kyla Rue also announced on the all-tournament team. One final honor for Rue, who will go down in the books as one of the best volleyball players to ever play in this conference. 3 years at Polk, and just such a high-level player, widely admired around the league. So Kyla, the middle blocker for Polk, will accept her plaque.
From Eastern Florida State, Gaia Reed-Mueller.
Gaia Reed-Mueller, the tremendous libero from Eastern, coming down. She was first team all-conference in the regular season and played her heart out to lead her team to a 2-1 record in this event.
From Florida Southwestern, Maria Cecilia.
And here come, the top 2 teams now going to get a bevy of awards. Again, 12 total players honored, 2 of which are not here. So we've seen 4 of the 10 winners so far that are here.
From Miami Dade, Anna Tepedrazzi.
Tepedrazzi coming over from Miami Dade to accept her trophy. Going to be a big part of the conference equation next year.
From Florida Southwestern, Izzy Collier.
Izzy Collier on the all-tournament team.
From Miami-Dade, Alexandra Koleva.
Koleva, the setter for Miami-Dade, on the team as well. Got 3 more players to be honored.
From Florida Southwestern, Barbara Kohler.
Barbara Kohler, with her powerful serving honored. Leaves probably Julia Lorenz for MVP.
From Miami-Dade, Romina Cornelio.
Cornelio, just like Rue, one final honor for her. One of the best players in the conference the last 2 seasons.
And your tournament most valuable player from Florida Southwestern, Julia Lorenz.
There it is, the sophomore Lorenz gets honored. Played extremely well, and she's brought to tears. 7 kills, 5 blocks in the championship match. She hit .333. sophomore headed to Hawaii, named most valuable player of this 2022 Region 8 state tournament. Stay tuned, we got a couple of interviews coming your way for you folks at home who have stuck with us to the bitter end here of this tournament. We do have one more broadcast tomorrow at 1 o'clock, our Region B final between Miami Dade and Spartanburg Methodist.
Coach of the Year, Thais Allen.
Got more. I guess we still have the team awards to go. They're going to give, I think, medals to all of the Bucks for winning. So Thais gets the Coach of the Year, and there will be more pictures.
Now your tournament runner-up, Miami Dade College.
Runner-up trophy for the Sharks. And they can get another trophy tomorrow with that Southeast Region B title that they're hoping to achieve. Obviously not what they set out for this weekend,
Miami Dade College will play
but
tomorrow afternoon
it comes with an automatic berth. So that is a really nice, second place opportunity for Miami Dade. Obviously a bittersweet photo here, but still a lot to be proud of this season for the Sharks. They'll be back better than ever next year. And again, still much more to be written in their season going to the national tournament, most likely in 2 weeks. Just one more game to get through.
All right, let's meet the champions. Number 2, Jada Coleman.
So now everybody will get their individual medals. Rob Cheney, who was on the broadcast with us yesterday, will hand them out.
Number 3, Madhu
Longtime
Fontes.
administrator at Tallahassee Community College, knows the state scene really well.
Number 4, Kate Roth. Number 6, Ariana Rossi. Number 7, Barbara Kohler. Number 8, Ezgi Dukesgan. Number 9, Maria Cecilia. Number 10, Alondra Ellercon. Number 11, Roberta Pershai. Number 12, Julia Lorenz. Number 13, Victoria Zibecki. Number 14, Emily Fleckenstein. Number 15, Mayana Colo. Number 16, Annika Bobek. Number 17, Christina Pratcher. Number 18, Izzy Collier.
So all the players have gotten their medals. Looks like the coaches will as well. We should give a big shout out to Megan Bessaker, the assistant for the Bucks, who has been great all year for this state championship winning team. And then, of course, the first place trophy to go out as well. And we'll have a word with the victorious Bucks here on the broadcast.
Megan Bessecki. And the head coach, Thais Allen.
One more photo for these state champion Bucks.
And now we present the hardware. State champion and Southeast District champions, Florida Southwestern.
And your MVP holds the first place trophy for FSW. Gonna take a victory lap. Again, the first in school history. First time Miami-Dade has lost a state final since 2006. The only time they've ever lost a state final. So now it's been twice, but 16 years apart as their six-peat comes to an end. They've won the last 6. They've been to the national title game in 3 of those 6. And they're both going to be tough outs in West Plains. Once again, stay tuned. We've got chats with the champs in just a second. So here comes Coach Baziketo Allen and Julia Lorenz.
Hi.
How you feeling?
Good. I feel very good. I'm a little bit wet, but good.
I mean, 3 in a row against Dade this season, which is what you did last year after they had your number before that. Did you expect it to go in 3 sets the way it did today?
I think it wasn't like the numbers, the stats. I think we just expected Dade to be Dade, you know, very offensively and aggressive, and they are. You know, their hitters are so powerful, and you can see that all the way through the game. So we expected like them to come out and be really strong, which they are.
This is your first state title. It won't be your first trip to the national tournament, but it is your first state title. What does that accomplishment mean?
It just, you know, it's just last year we lost on the semifinals. We were expected to, like we wanted to win, and every year we set the goal to win. And I think the sophomore class deserved. I think last year they felt a little short at that point, and now they just win it all out. Obviously, we like to go to the national tournament, and the at-large we're really appreciative, but it's nice to earn that through a win and not the at-large.
Julia is the MVP. I mean, everybody that was on the all-tournament team played incredible. Roberta's not even on there. She was great.
Or Alo, or, you know.
If only there were more trophies.
Yes, we needed a couple more.
But Julia specifically today, what did she do to get you going after you fell behind a little bit in that first?
2 things. I think offensively she's so dynamic, and like finding a middle that transitions off the net and is ready to swing. It's something that she does really well. So it's like they have to hold the block on her, which is nice because then it opens up so many other ways, and she scores. So then that was one in her block. She has a huge block, so like having their hitters face her block was something that we knew that she had a good odd on, and she showed up today.
Obviously, this tournament was supposed to be in Fort Myers. A lot of fans tuned in, parents tuned in, excited for you to finally get this first one. Any messages for the folks back home watching today?
I just want to thank everybody for all the work and all the support. And I know it's been some tough times in Fort Myers, but you know, just like our team, we're going to continue to push and rebuild and continue to be strong, just like our town and our community and our people. So we just appreciate the support.
and giving them something to watch in a couple of weeks as you try and bring the big one home. Congratulations, Thais. Let's pass the mic over to Julia.
Congrats, MVP. Thank you. Hi, guys.
Julia, did you think you'd go home with this much hardware this weekend?
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so glad. I still can't believe I didn't expect to get this. I just wanted to get the medal and go to the Nationals. So I'm so happy with our result. And we have much more to show. It's not the end. It's just the beginning of our history. And that's it.
You guys did fall behind in the first set, and
Yes.
you know they got a 3-4 point lead, and it seemed like you were the leader to get things back in line with what you normally do. What was your mindset in that first set to make sure you got out in front?
I mean, I think my mindset was set up since yesterday, since everything was going on. The only thing I could think was the game. 24 hours, the only thing I could think was the game and how we're gonna win. So I think I wanted to give my 100%, everything to my girls, everything that I could give, my confidence, my volleyball, my everything. I just wanted to give to them, so I knew that we needed to fight. So I was ready for the fight.
After last year's state tournament, I'm sure your motivation was really high. How do you all keep that motivation so high going into the national tournament?
I think we are really focused. I think we have girls from last year that has the same mindset as me, and we just wanted to show what we are capable of. We are a really hard-working team, and we're going to keep working because we want more, much more.
Anything you want to say back home to Brazil?
Pai, mãe, eu amo muito vocês. Eu não acredito que eu ganhei MVP. Eu estou muito feliz, eu amo vocês.
Thank you, Julia. Congratulations. There you have it, the final message from your MVP. Speaking of MVPs, big shout out to our entire Eastern Florida team here with the broadcast today. They were marvelous on short notice. This tournament moved here because of Hurricane Ian. You could see the emotion there with Thais there at the end, talking about the folks back in Fort Myers watching today after all they've gone through, close to 2 weeks without power for a lot of folks back in Southwest Florida. They've moved past it. They had to live on the road for 2 weeks after that hurricane, and they have persevered. Still only one loss on the season, and moving on to West Plains, Missouri. Thank you for tuning in all weekend. A lot of great volleyball. We do have one more broadcast tomorrow. You Miami Dade fans should tune into that 1 o'clock with another automatic berth on the line against Spartanburg Methodist. For everybody here in Melbourne, I'm John Vitas signing off for Saturday with the Buccaneers as state champions.